Hey everybody.
I
I'm right now I'm up in Black Balsam, or the Sam Knob region, I guess you want to call it, in the Pisgah National Forest, the Shining Rock Wilderness, western North Carolina. It's where I happen to call home these days, which is pretty darn awesome. Um, I It's just started to fall. It's actually late October, and it finally we had a cool down, and we're finally in what I would call fall temperatures. It's been deceptively warm up until this point. So I was at the Foothills Trail last weekend, and did a little video there. We got rained out, but it was a good trip. I met some good people. We had a good hike, and that's what counts. So today I'm up in the Pisgah, as I said, and I want to talk about sort of like a follow up to a video I did earlier in the spring when I had just received this Pact bathroom device, for lack of better terms. So what I'm going to do now is going to give like a long-term use report on it. So here it is. Here's the entire thing, which I really love this, I have to say. It's only maybe a couple inches, an inch and a half in diameter, and a good, like, my hand's 7 inches, so it's about 8 inches long. So it's very compact. Weight, 3 ounces, maybe 4. It all depends on how many little goodies you have inside. So another thing I really like about it is they have this cool elastic thing that holds it together. I have to say up front, I'm not much of a this seemed in the store a little gimmicky to me. I'll just put it that way. I'm going to hold it this way so you can see the name. But in use, it's actually turned out to be pretty good. I do have some dirt in there. What I was really surprised, to be honest with you, is that this aluminum trowel really did a good job. I'm here in the hardwood forests of the basically mid-Atlantic, and right now I'm in a pine forest, obviously. So there's inches and inches of just pine needles and duff built up. So it's a very soft ground. But mostly where I do a lot of my hiking, especially like last week at the Foothills Trail, those are hardwood forests. So the ground is different. It's tougher. There's a lot more roots going on. I mean, frankly, I could walk right over there a couple 100 yards and I'd be in that exact same kind of forest. I just happen to like pine forests, that's all. So I'm here. But as I said, and it really didn't, I've used this a bunch of times and it shows like no wear at all. I figured this whole thing would be, destroyed by now. Okay, so that's it for the outer piece. And then the inner piece, which is where I'm looking for. Well, I found it. Here it is. Inner piece and bathroom. Yeah, I guess so, actually. So these little white things are tablets that become the toilet paper. What you do is you kind of push them out from this side, right? You get that little wafer kind of a thing. It's kind of like like a Halloween candy, about that size. Necco, I think they were called. What you do with this is you wet it. I'm not going to do it right now, but it forms a sheet about 8 by 8, and it's fairly robust. It's not flimsy like toilet paper. It's actually, I don't know what material it is, but it's fairly robust. It holds up. It does the job, basically. And then in this, here's one thing you do have to be aware of. You can hear that, right? These are the little tablets. I don't know if you can see them that well. I'll do a close-up. But these are the tablets that you put in there on top of your business, your poop, and it helps to break it down faster. So they all go, and this has got a little sponge thing, and you do have to be careful. First time I opened it up, it was like just stuff everywhere. That's how it goes, and I couldn't get these things out. So here's another thing too. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 per segment. So here's a total of 12. I would strongly suggest, if you do buy this, test it at home. See how many you use, how many you need. Typically for me, 2 does the job. Often one does the job, but sometimes I need a backup. Now, the reason I'm being cautious about that is that the very first time I ever used this on a weekend trip, I must have gotten a bad hamburger at the... they all fits right in here just perfectly, right? Must have got a bad hamburger because I had the runs for like 24 hours, and I went through every one of these. And I was just at the start of my trip, so that's a little uncomfortable. I did find some other wipes and things like that I had in the pack, tucked in corners and whatnot, and you kind of make do. But you may want to bring a backup, at least until you get set, at least until you figure out how many of these you're going to need. So just to kind of recap, I really like it. I think it's a great product. I think for the $20 or $30, I think total, it's a long-term investment, and it really works. This is what I have been using for a while. Basically TP from home, and when it gets low, looks like I maybe got a couple of uses out of it, then I'll stick it in a Ziploc. This is a one use, and I have a couple of handy wipe things in here, and then it goes in this. Keep it dry. Very important. And then I've been using I think this was like $3. I got it at REI. It's really a snow stake. It's a big concave tent stake, really. But for $3, it does the same job as your $25 titanium one. And, it may weigh a couple of grams more. This thing weighs about 2 ounces, 3 ounces maybe. So for an extra $20, I'll treat myself to a greasy hamburger and give myself the runs. Anyway, that's always the trade-off, right? So what I'm doing is trading in these 2 things for this. And then also another thing I do want to say in this defense here, I use different backpacks. Like on the weekend trip, I've got my full-size 55-liter that carries everything, right? I can stuff that thing. It goes right in the side pocket. Boom. When I want to do a day hike, I've got a little 20-liter, little day pack. Goes right in the side pocket. Boom. Same thing with my intermediate pack. If I have it's my winter snowshoeing or, long day hike with camera stuff pack. Right in the side pocket. So I really like it for that. You just have to keep, don't forget, don't leave it at home. As they say, don't leave home without it, right? So anyway, that's my long-term use. The verdict is yes. For me, it was worth it. It did take some getting used to. But overall, it really works well. One other thing it still gets me is that you have to prepare the paper that's in here before you go, pulling your pants down, because you need to get it wet so it'll open up. That's one thing that has gotten me a couple of times, like, oh, I gotta go, and you run over there and you're like, oh no, and I got this little cube, now what do I do? So a little forethought, get it damp on your way to your spot. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you decide to use it, I'm not sponsored by them. I just think it's a good product, and you might enjoy it yourself. Okay? So all the best to you, and thanks for watching. And if this was any value to you, please give me a like, and maybe even subscribe. That'd be awesome. All right? So thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, and enjoy your fall. And so here's a sort of a close-up. I keep getting this upside down. That product manager is going to be upset with me. This is the close-up of all the components. Obviously these are the little the pellets, and they live in here inside this little container. That's the one you got to be careful you don't dump them all on the floor like I did. Obviously the wipes go in here, and that's where you push on this side to push them out through this side. And this little foam thing just keeps these guys from, I don't know, jiggling around, I guess. And then here's the thing. And look at this. I mean, that's beautiful. There's like no wear on this thing whatsoever. You know, it's really held up well. I'm really pleased with it. And there she is.